we continue talking about the tip of Chase. Start with Chandler's shot, and then take me through what happened.
Which shot? The free throw?
Which
shot was it?
All right. The one in overtime. He shoots one from like Lancaster County, and it goes in and one. And
yes. Oh, okay. Man, I know. I swung it to Mike, and then Mike swung it to Chandler. I didn't really see anything. I just know he let the ball go. So I was just doing my job, went to go crash, whatever. And it didn't touch the net when he made it. So, and they called a foul. I'm like, wow, we're only down 3 now. 4 seconds left. And then I was asking our coaches whether we should miss on purpose or if we should make it and just foul. They were telling us to make it. So I know he stepped up there to make it. Didn't make it. And then I crashed, which is part of my job too. So Chase ended up getting a fingertip on it. And I saw it, so I went and got it, dribbled it out, knowing we were down 3, and just took the shot. I mean, it went in. But I know it was a big shot, and I put in the work, day in and day out. So I feel like when I shoot those shots, it's nothing going in my head. It's just when I shoot without a conscience, I know that I make better shots that way.
Okay, but you were sprinting out, and you somehow stay on balance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did you stay on balance? Like,
just work. I mean, my whole life I've just been working on those type of shots, believe it or not. When I'm in the gym, sometimes I run from corner to corner, spinning it out and just trying to catch my balance and shooting off 1 foot, just stuff like that, when I'm not shooting with the gun. So, I mean, I work on those shots, like I said, believe it or not, but it's not a surprise to me that I went in, but I'm sure it is true.
Was there any sort of hope? I know the cliche answer is going to be like, no, we never lost hope, but let's get real. For like 17, 14 seconds, whatever it was, down 6, possibly down 7. Jose Perez was untucking his jersey,
right.
talking to the crowd. People were leaving, believe it or not, the Coliseum.
Right.
But was there any sense of hope?
I think at the end of the day, I know that we all feel like we're trained for the moments, and although it seemed like it was over, it never crossed my mind that the game was actually going to end. Honestly, I knew that if they missed a free throw, we'd still have a chance if we could come down and hit a 3. So in my head, I never thought the game was over. It's not more. I wouldn't say it's hope. I feel like it's just belief in what we have going on here, and it takes a little bit of luck to win a conference championship. So I guess it's more belief than hope.
You mentioned luck. I know that you did hit all the big shots, but that was a component of tonight as well, right? I mean, you mentioned it. Can you expound on that?
Like I said, it's just getting in the gym and working. We have our saying where we get 300 threes up a day, make 300 threes up a day, and shoot 100 free throws a day. So just getting in the gym and taking tough shots. That's what I like to do. I like to take tough shots. I work on my set shots a lot, but I really like to work on my tough shots because you never know in the moment of the game when you have to take that shot, and then just believing that it'll go in because you've already put the work in outside of the games or when the lights on and you're in the gym by yourself.
How did you keep your composure going into each overtime? Because the first overtime, we had that huge, right at the end, we made it. Second time, same thing. Mm-hmm. Third time, kept going. How do you keep your composure and then readjust for each overtime?
We try to focus on breaking the game down in 4-minute wars. Each media timeout is another war that we just try to win and try to get an advantage on our opponent. So knowing when we go into the next overtime that it's done in the past, is over, now we're here, it's 0-0, and we're just trying to win that next war. And then when we didn't win the next war, we tied again in the second overtime. We go into the next one thinking the exact same thing. It's another war. We go out, get stops. We should do what we need to do to get going.
Was there a certain moment in this game that really stood out to you in your performance?
I don't know. I think I did a pretty good job rebounding for the first time this year. Coach has been sending me to the glass more on the offensive side, so that's something I'm really focusing on, is trying to get offensive rebounds and get tips for my other teammates to get offensive rebounds. But I'm just happy we got the win. I mean, it's been a really long night, and I'm just proud of our guys and we fought. It's a really good team to play.
Were you surprised they didn't foul on either of those 2 3-point attempts that tied the game?
I am actually. I mean, we work on it all the time, working in all those situations, but I mean, I don't know what they work on or stuff like that. And they probably didn't want to foul somebody into the act of shooting, which unfortunately did happen with Cham. But I'm maybe a little bit surprised, but you know, it happens.
All right, the focus is going to be on the overtime, but there were still crazy shots in regulation. It was still a really exciting regulation. Who stood out to you player-wise? I mean, you got a couple storylines. You got Russ back, DJ, hit 3 field goals in a row to put y'all up 3. Obviously, Kyle hit the free throw that ultimately put y'all over the top.
Right.
Can you kind of talk about some of the players?
I told DJ when we got in the locker room, I said the run that he went on really ignited us to getting where we needed to be back in the game. He had some big free throws, big layups for us. Chase is unbelievable on defense. I mean, he matched up with Perez all night, and that's a tough matchup for him. I mean, he's a freshman, and he stepped up the challenge. He got the tip that ultimately led to the 3. Chase made some big free throws too. Mike had the guard. I mean, you could look at every single person on the team, and they played a pivotal role in us getting this win today.
Okay.
Was there any moment after the game, any sort of romanticized moment where your team was like, we did this, or was it kind of just?
It was hard not to let it out on the court, but when we got to the locker room, we had a really good time. That's when all that came out. So, but tomorrow we flip the page and we're focusing on Hampton, but we'll enjoy this tonight.
There's a lot of conversation about playing, 49 consecutive seconds or whatever it is between whistles. When you get into the second, third overtime, is it tougher to do that physically or mentally?
It's all mental. I mean, it depends on the work that you put in because, you can catch cramps and stuff like that, but we put the work in. We went into one of the huddles, and Kyle goes in and says, we were trained for this. And that's our mentality, Every single overtime we were trained. We worked on this all in the off-season, worked on our conditioning in the gym all day, all night, just working out, trying to get better. So, knowing that you're trained for the big moments, you don't really think about it that much.
All right, Kyle, what say you? It's a first reactions, first everything.
Man, that was a hard-fought win, to say the least. Proud of those boys in there. They're just unbelievable. It's a group of guys that never give up, as we showed out there. We make big plays. It showed in the games that we played in the non-conference schedule. We made some huge plays in those games, and it led to this moment. We were, as I said, trained for this moment, and we just really hustled. And man, it's a loss for words with this triple overtime win. Just really proud of the guys. That was an unbelievable team that came in here, and we always say we protect home court, and that's what we did tonight.
When you say we were trained for this moment, can you kind of orient me? Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, Coach always says it. First of all, he always puts us in a position to win. He's an unbelievable coach that trains us the right way, makes sure we're on it every day. And then, when we're in the off season, we're doing things like, the arm bikes with Eli, our strength coach, and doing our conditioning and all that. That's for this moment. When we go to triple overtime and Che's playing 48 minutes, I think he played. And it's just, those guys that play like that, and it's because we work so hard. We say, we work too hard to give up. And we're down 6 with, 17 seconds to go or something like that. And I knew we were good. We just got to, get a stop here, and then we got to hit a 3, and we just did it. And we come into the timeout, we come into the huddles, and come into overtime, and we're like, we're good now. Let's go. Let's get this one. So that's just what I mean by training for this moment.
I noticed that Coach Kelsey kind of went to a more senior lineup in come overtime. What was that? What was that? Do you think?
I think there was a bit of foul trouble too with Chase fouling out and all that stuff. But it's just next man up kind of thing. We're so deep this year. Going down the line, I could say everyone I would trust to come in and play big minutes. And if we went senior at the end, that's experience. But these freshmen aren't freshmen anymore. Like I think Coach Gray said that before. We come in and say they've played enough games now to know what to do down the stretch, and I trust them with everything I've got. When I'm playing defense, I know there's a guy behind me that's ready to make that next play, and I know if I sub out, that next guy's going to bring more energy to the table. So that's just the team we got this year, and so proud of them. I can't say it enough.
What was the shining moment for you tonight? Like, what was that big moment that you realized, like, we could win this?
Obviously Hunt's shot was unbelievable, but that bank by Chandler at the top of the key, I looked at that and I was like, I was at a loss for words. Like, I came into the huddle and said, like, we trained for this, and I was just there, standing there baffled, like, didn't know what to say. But yeah, that was probably the shining moment when he banked that one. But as Hunt said before, that offensive rebound where Chase got just that little touch on it and just kept the ball alive, and that's what wins you games. You get the bounce of the ball, and if you just play hard every time, and as they say, it's not over till the fat lady sings. Like, I can't say enough how great this win is for us.
You're one of the guys that always gets the crowd involved. Like, when to really get the crowd involved, to get them loud, to get them going. Is that more of a senior standpoint? Is it more just, we need the crowd in this?
They're like a six man for us. Like, they're unbelievable out there, Like, when we come play home games, I'm always so excited to see the crowd come in because they're so loud and they enjoy it so much, and I just want to be a part of that. When I hype up the crowd, I just love hyping up and interacting with the crowd, because I like to have fun out there. That's what we say. If you're not having fun, then you don't want to play the game anymore. But we love having fun and playing hard, and that's what we do. When we get energy from them, it brings us up and makes us play harder. And I love playing in front of these crowds.
Did anything stick out that Coach Kelsey said in the huddle before in any overtime that really stuck out to the team or to you?
Just that mentality we come in where we can always do the impossible. Like, it's never impossible. We come into the huddle and we're like, next war. Like, that's the biggest thing. When we came into that overtime, we said, well, that's it that's the 40 minutes. Now we lock into this next war. We flip the page, just like we will now. We'll enjoy this win, but we flip the page and focus on Hampton.
How long do you let yourself enjoy this?
Probably for the night. When my head hits that pillow and goes to sleep, and then when I wake up in the morning, that's when I flip the page, and I'll enjoy the off day tomorrow. I'm sure all the boys will, but that's kind of when I flip the page. As soon as I wake up that next morning, I'm sure we'll be back in the gym getting shots up, which our program is a shooting program, getting in the gym, getting shots up. Like Hunt said, he works on those shots. I've seen him work on those shots all the time. Same as Chan. Like, Chan even works on his three like all the time, and that's why he's gotten so much better with his three-pointer, and that's why he hits those kind of shots.
Back to the emotional question, getting the crowd involved and everything else. Is there anything that fires you up more than taking the charge?
I don't think so. I always throw out that fist pump when I take a charge, but I had a few that I had a couple more I could have taken, which I was pretty upset with. But, I love taking charges. That's just a momentum shifter. I come in, that's kind of my role, just being that down and dirty guy, just doing what the team needs to get a win, and taking charges is one of them, and that's what I'll do for the team.
Rank this game in your career as basketball.
I said it to the boys in the locker room, that's probably the best game I've been a part of. Just the ending was unbelievable, obviously, but they're such a good team, and they're well coached and well run that we were just going back and forth. It was a gritty, hard-earned win, and that's why it's so enjoyable right now. Such good defense on both ends, and you just always enjoy these wins.
You're a non-factor tonight.
Right.
All right, let's start. Let's start with your first big shot. To send it into to initiate sending it into overtime. Take me through that possession.
Like I said on the radio, I kind of just trust my game a lot. We worked really hard, and I think it got down to we were supposed to be a high ball screen with Hunter trading behind. but it all got messed up, and we only had like 5 seconds left. So I was like, well, we got to get a shot off, and, you know, we work really hard, so I just shot it up there, and it went in. Sometimes it banks in, just like my free throws, but it went in, so it was cool.
It went in. It was an and one.
Oh, you're talking about that one?
Yeah, I'm talking about that one.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, and also address. Also, in your answer, can you address the fact that, like, the other team was shooting free throws that could have put the game to 7, which would have made it a 3-possession
Gotcha.
game.
My fault, wrong one.
No worries.
Yeah, he missed a free throw, and then I honestly didn't. I know it's like cliche to say, but I didn't feel like we were out of the game. As weird as that say, like, because sometimes they just maybe get a rebound, waste a foul, and it's like, dang, like it's setting in that we lost. And truthfully, like when he missed that free throw, like I didn't have that yet. So I think someone drove in, and I got loose, and the dude closed out on me. I hit the 3. Maybe might have landed a little bit more forward than I usually do. But we were supposed to make the free throw, and I missed. So that was not planned. And Chase is just really active, and he's just long and wiry and real skinny, but he's hard to stay. He's hard to box out. So he ended up getting a hand on it. It bounced out to Hunter, and he dribbled out and shot that. Like, he does that in practice and gets yelled at for shooting it. So, like, that's a normal shot for him, and just in the flow of the offense. So it was a huge shot. It was just a really, really fun night. My heart hurts because so much was happening, but it was really cool.
Your heart hurts?
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Does 48 minutes have anything to do with it?
It might, maybe a little bit, but it's all right. If I got to play 48, whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
What was your thought process during the entire 3 OT tonight?
I mean, a lot of it was a blur. Like, just so many big shots for both teams kept happening. But I feel like it's one of those games that, like, we'll look back and be like, I don't know how we won, really, or what we did, but we did win. So it was just cool. We work really hard. Film, you guys are in here all the time, like lifting, film, shooting, extra shooting. We practice sometimes really long. But, you know, it all pays out for, like, games like this, where we stick together and we keep battling, and there's probably a lot of doubt that we weren't going to win. We stuck to it and ended up winning. So.
What do you think was your biggest play of the game?
Probably the banked in 3 that I had, but everybody just made so many big plays.
If you remember, can you describe that play?
Yeah, I kind of described it earlier because I thought that's the one you were talking about. But it just got late in the shot clock, and we didn't really have much. I was on the right wing. They had a high ball screen, and it was Ferg, and I kind of just pulled up. The defender was a little bit off because I think he was feeling the screen a little bit, and he pushed up, and I shot it. And I knew it was on mine. I just didn't know if it was going to be long or short. And I saw it bank in, and I was like, all right, let's go.
This was a hard-fought, every minute count during these games. It was a very gritty, very powerful, very just intense win and overall fight with everyone. How did Pat Kelsey keep everyone's composure during the game?
I mean, we have a system, and when we do what we work on in practice, it doesn't matter if we're up 10, we're down 10, it is what it is. We do what we do. And our biggest thing is 4-minute wars. We break the game into 4-minute wars. And if we lost the first war by 10, it's over with. We look at the next one. We try and win each war. And usually whoever wins the most wars will end up winning the game. So, I mean, Coach Kelsey's just our leader out there. He just demands excellence out of us. He's so fiery and so passionate about the game of basketball, and it just makes you want to be better yourself. So for him to be at the helm, he really helps us, and the coaching staff's phenomenal as well.
Every coach, every player says the same thing all the time. A win's a win. Just want to know, move on the next day, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Assuming you responsibly respond to this,
right.
How far can this win go in defining what you can do this season?
I mean, to an extent, a win is a win, but one like this, I mean, Gardner-Webb's a really good team. They're usually at the top of our conference. They won last year. So for us to get that win, push our, what are we, 4-0 in the conference now? to get that, and we know that we have a big week ahead. We don't look at we look at each game one at a time, but now that this one's over with, we have a lot of travel next week. So Hampton's, I think, 6 hours or something like that. So for us to get this one, and then we have to have that travel and go play away, I think it'll help us a little bit more. Whereas if we would end up losing this one, who knows what we would have been like with all that travel, with all of our young guys, with me and Hunt being new. So for us, I think it was a good win.
I asked this to Kyle. How does this game rank in your games ever played?
It was pretty nuts. There was some crazy shots. They asked me on the radio. I actually had a game at my high school that went into 5 overtimes where I played all 52 minutes. So that one was pretty crazy as well. But I think just the caliber of shots that people made is what made it so crazy. I was talking to somebody after, and they said, like, this is a game that we'll remember forever, and they were like, thank you, and I was like, it was fun for me too. So
a fan,
it was one of the reporters, I think.
Oh, okay.
People out there. I don't know who. I should know her name, but I don't, so I'm not going to describe her just in case she sees it. I don't know her name. But yeah.
First thing I want to do is give Tim and his team and his staff a lot of credit. I have the utmost respect for Tim. Not only is he an extraordinary coach, but unbelievable person. Just one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in the business. We say we live parallel lives because we've both been in the profession about the same amount of time. He has a son my son's age, a daughter my middle daughter's age, and a daughter my oldest daughter's age, same exact ages. And my son, Ken, lets my son sit on the bench. Their AD lets his son sit on their bench. And when I'm going through, the handshake line, you see that little boy in the back of the line. His daddy just lost a big game, and he had big tears welling up, and I just wanted to give him a big hug, which I did. He's probably like, who the heck is this guy? But that's the thing about sports. You're going to win unbelievably epic games like this, and it was epic. And throughout the course of your career as a player and a coach, you're going to lose some games like that. So, I feel for them. I'm glad we came out on the winning side of it, but it's a very, very hard-fought game. Jose Perez was phenomenal. He's a matchup nightmare, gave us problems all night, and had 35 big points. It took some heroic shots and a heroic performance by several of our guys to win the game here tonight. And just like if we would have lost this one, it would have been gut-wrenching. We wake up tomorrow, our kids got to turn a page. Not only get ready for Hampton on Thursday, but it seems like we've been out of school for 6 months. It's been forever, So the reason they came here, and when I sat in all their parents' living rooms, I looked them in the eye and I promised them their son I was going to do everything in my power to make sure their son got a degree. So we got to get back into the flow academically on Monday, get back in that rhythm of class and study hall and tests and papers and then practice and then lifting, and then that's how it's going to go. We've been like an NBA team for the last month. So it's going to be for all the teams in our conference, it's a new thing when the academic stuff starts again. And looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun last couple months of the season.
I'm sure people have asked you about certain moments of the game. Chandler's anyone they haven't? Or
they have, but I told Dave, I was like, I'm in a fog right now. I don't know about you guys. Dave started going through like boom, 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 and I know at the end we told Chan to try to make the free throw, not his strength as well. So it ended up working in our favor. That he's not the highest percentage free throw shooter in the world. Got an advantageous bounce. Hunt got his hand on it, dribbled out. We practiced that shot for hours and hours, and it's exactly how we drew it up. Just drive out, shoot a fadeaway, kick your leg out, fall into this. I'm just kidding. It's a big time shot. Chan hit 2 of them. One where he got fouled shooting the 3, and then the banked in 3. I told him to put a little bit more English when it hurt him. But big time shots. So I thought Josh Ferguson was great in the last overtime. He didn't have his strongest game up to that point. but he was really big. Played like a senior in that last 5 minute clip. Got some big rebounds, some big baskets for us.
And DJ did as well. 3 field goals in a row.
Yeah.
That kind of propelled y'all when it propelled y'all to a 3-point lead, I think.
Yeah.
At the time, late in the second half.
Yeah, he's such a weapon, as we know. We were going offense, defense with him for a while there. Got on a roll, got him the ball. It's a hallmark, or I think it's part of the identity of our team is our depth, and everybody's been talking about it all year long. When I come in these press conferences, you guys talk about playing 10 guys, sometimes 11. And I think because we have so much depth, and those guys on our bench have logged so many significant and meaningful minutes, that when their name's called in big moments and big games, they're ready. And I think that's a luxury that we have, and it's a huge strength of our team. And when guys' names are counted, guys start fouling out. Chuck went in, played really well for us, was solid. It's good to have Lil Russ back. He's a little rusty. He hasn't practiced much in the last 5 weeks, 6 weeks or so. Had a little bit of a setback when we got back for Christmas. I say all the time, he is the grumpy old man, Jeff Lahr. That's what I tell him all the time. And he's an acquired taste, but he's phenomenal at what he does. He's really good. He has worked his tail off with Russell over the last 5 weeks of getting him ready to go. Our guys respect him. Our guys really like him. He's really good for our program, and I got to give him a big shout out for how hard he's worked getting that kid better. It's been a lot of hours around the clock getting him ready to go.
What was one moment during the entire game that kind of stood out to you?
I'm sorry, say it again.
What was one moment during the game or one play that really stood out to you that kind of made the game?
Well, I mean, those crazy shots stick out to me the most. I mean, you think about it. We got fouled shooting a 3. We banked in a 3. And we got an offensive rebound off of a missed free throw. We were down 6 with 18 seconds to go. I just think the biggest thing with the game is just the resiliency that our guys showed. Could have packed it in. Ken Palm always comes out after these games and it shows like the likelihood and the percentage chance of winning at certain points in the game. And I'm sure it'll be publicized. I'm sure it'll be in your guys' publications tomorrow. But it had to be absolutely astronomical. And we had to get lucky. We got some breaks and made a couple circus shots, I guess you could call them. But we got tough kids that are resilient and refuse to lose. What we kept saying in those huddles, and Chan was kind of leading the chant or leading the way. Kyle, who's 2 of our real vocal leaders, we're winning this game. We're winning this game is what they kept saying. We have a lot of leadership on our team. Some guys lead by example. Josh Ferguson is the ultimate lead by example. He doesn't say nothing. But that guy is old faithful. He shows up every day and does his business. And he's so attentive in filming on scouting reports. And so, different guys lead in different ways. But they just kept believing.
Kyle mentioned that he came to the huddle and said, "We've been trained for this." Yeah,
that's one of our deals. You guys probably heard several months ago, Urban Meyer talked to our team. Urban Meyer, I couldn't believe it. I almost fell over. We read his book, and some mutual friend of mine knows him, connected the 2 of us. I got on the phone with him, and our guys were out warming up for practice, and I said, "Coach, we're going to start practice in 3 minutes. I don't want to waste your time, but if I get our guys to sprint into the film room, can I put you on speaker and will you talk to the team?" He said, "Absolutely." Ran him in there. He talked to the guys for like 25 minutes. It was unbelievable. But, we talk about being above the line in everything we do. There's below the line and above the line. And above the line is being about the right things and the right approach and the right work ethic. And what we say is in our culture, in our program, is being above the line all the time in workouts, in strength sessions, in practices, how we travel, how we do academics, all that stuff makes us train for these moments. When the moment's the biggest, you're ready. And it's fun when you're teaching these things, and then in those moments, or in practices, or in games, those guys are sort of regurgitating the things that you say. it makes you feel good as a leader, and it makes you feel good as a coach. And we got a room full of guys that really believe in what we're doing. It's fun. We had some big-time recruits here today. Tenari Lane, who signed with us, who's going to be he's a big-time player from Georgia. For him to be a part of this today, and to see that, and be behind the scenes, and be in the locker room, it's really cool. That's what being a Winthrop basketball player is all about. It's something very, very special. Our culture is special. Our team believes in it. Our coaches believe in it. Our players believe in it. And our administration believes in it. And Ken gives me a lot of autonomy to be myself and to lead the way I lead and be passionate the way I'm passionate. And it works. So I thought the administration was great today in terms of how we promoted the game. Students aren't here, and I thought the place was rocking. A lot of people left a little bit early. I noticed that. I told them I can't really throw shade because my dad is the king of leaving games early. He left the 1970 All-Star game when Pete Rose ran over Ray Fosse, the greatest moment in the history of the All-Star game. He left early to beat the traffic. So that's a Kelsey deal. We would have left too. So I'm not mad at everybody for leaving, but I'm sure they wish they would have stayed.
When you kind of walk out of here after this game, do you give yourself even 5 minutes to enjoy it before you open the computer?
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm exhausted. I can't wait to go watch the tape. It'll be something I think after the season down the road. I'm talking to my dad and my kids. You remember that game? And I think there's going to be a lot of Winthrop fans that say the same thing. That was an epic game. Like I said, it's a shame there had to be a loser. But we're going to see Gardner-Webb again at their place and probably see them again in the tournament. It's turned into a heck of a little rivalry. Coastal left the league. Asheville's, been but like every time we play these guys, it is a knockdown, drag out. I think the most epic game I've ever coached in was the Gardner-Webb Winthrop game in the semifinals of the 2017 Big South Championship. There was two desperate teams, and I remember some of the scrums for loose balls were dangerous. I mean, it was, and that's kind of how it is every time we play them. Down there, came down to 1 point. I'm sure it'll be the same thing next time we play them.
Obligatory question outside of the game. Although this was a crazy game, y'all have now won 6 in a row. 4-0 in the Big South. What can you say on
Hampton. Like tonight, I'll go home and might have a cold Corona, maybe, if that's okay. Maybe enjoy it for 10 minutes, Corona Light. You turn a page, man. You go to the next one. I can't think about what happened today, what happened last week. 5 straight, 6 straight, lost 6 straight. The next one. It's about Hampton, and that's all I'm worried